Hey Virgo, we're going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on for you guys, Virgo. All right, Virgo. Let's see, Virgo. Four of Pentacles. All right, so maybe you're holding on to something, okay? Maybe you're thinking about releasing something, okay, but it might be something that's kind of hard to release, all right? That kind of situation. I wonder if something really kind of like stuck with you here, that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see. Or there's something that you're like, I was going to give that away, but you know what? I'm not so sure anymore. All right, that could also be it. So let's see, Virgo. Oh, look at that. The reverse Hermit's at the bottom. Interesting, Virgo. Okay, so let's see. You guys have the Hanged Man also reversed, and this is showing up for your energy for the week. So, I wonder if something that was like underground is being exposed, or something that like maybe you thought was kind of more hidden or something like that, okay? Maybe is like kind of rising to the top here, that kind of thing. So, all right, Hanged Man reverse showing up for your energy. So possibly maybe you guys are starting to, I wonder if the energy is just starting to kind of like move forward, that kind of stuff. Maybe you've been kind of like isolated or doing something by yourself, maybe wanting to kind of like retreat in some sense, that kind of stuff. But I feel like maybe now there's an energy of kind of being like, you know what, I'm gonna start making moves on something, all right, that kind of situation. What I'll also say is with that reverse Hermit card at the bottom, I wonder if there's maybe been something here that you have maybe really done some like friggin' deep like soul searching, that kind of stuff, okay? Sometimes or oftentimes when we're maybe forced, I'm gonna say forced, okay, it's kind of a strong word, but let's just, it's fine. Forced to kind of maybe, you know, do something by yourself or going through a really difficult time. Sometimes, you know, if we use that period of time to, again, really soul search or trying to kind of figure out something for ourselves, you know, that kind of stuff, it can feel maybe like a test of faith in some sense. But, you know, we can like come out of that with like a really different perspective of ourselves, of a situation, of maybe like something in the past or, you know, something, okay? So that could also be what we're talking about. It could be that, you know, you're just in the energy of seeing something in you know, in a different way, okay, or being like, I have a different perspective on that, and that could be something that's like maybe causing, you know, momentum to kind of flow, that kind of stuff. All right, so let's see. You have the Ten of Pentacles, and this is showing up for the area of your feelings. So I think that I think you're feeling quite stable, okay? I think there's a sense of you guys feeling quite stable, maybe really supported, maybe really supported financially, okay? Something regarding that certainly could be. So, all right, well, that feels great. So, all right, let's see. You also might be feeling really friggin' comfortable, I want to say with yourself, okay, Virgo, and God bless it. That's amazing. I think that's like, that's amazing. God, I wish that everyone, I mean, myself included, could just feel like comfortable being themselves. Like what a cool world that would be, you know? So that could certainly be something that maybe you're feeling, all right? So let's see. In your environment, you have the Death card here showing up in your environment. So maybe some of you guys are dealing with a Scorpio, but what I really understand is that there's just something around you that it's changing, it's morphing, it's evolving, something like that, okay? I think you're very much aware of this, all right, that kind of stuff. You might be feeling like this is actually moving you towards, I don't know, something that is, again, maybe like financially stable, or again, something that is like your new mainstay, all right? I do understand. For some of you guys, this certainly could be like a spiritual awakening or an upgrade in some sense, or, you know, a spiritual upgrade. I don't even, you know, those are all like buzzwords, right? But like, you know, something like that, okay? I'm not sure what the right word to call all of this stuff is. I don't think anyone really knows what the right, you know, word is, but well, actually, maybe some people do, but I don't know. Anyway, so, all right. Okay, so you guys have the Ten of Wands, and this is showing up for your challenge here. So, I feel like this is maybe the challenge of kind of completing something, or this could be that you're feeling like maybe a heavy burden because you maybe are like, you know what, things are kind of moving in a different direction. Or again, maybe it's like, I'm seeing something from a real different perspective, or I have a different opinion, a different, again, perspective of something here, okay? That kind of stuff. I even wonder if, for some of you guys, I wonder if you're feeling like you have to kind of put something on hold. I wonder if you have put something on hold for somebody else. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I was gonna say forfeiting, but I don't know that that's what I mean. Like sacrificing something like for somebody else here. I wonder if that's been happening. And I wonder if right now you're like, yeah, but I got to put myself first now, which is great. Okay. So yes, could be that the challenge is maybe just, you know, completing something, or again, feeling like a heaviness, feeling some type of like a burden, maybe somebody else's burdens. Okay. Maybe this is something you just have a lot of responsibilities going on, something about that. Okay. Yeah, it might be a hard time to like really complete something here, right? Or possibly wondering what the result of all of your hard work, you know, what that's going to kind of entail. So, all right, for your opportunity, you guys have the Hierophant here. So here's the thing. For those of you who are kind of like, you know, having like a real new perspective on like a person, a situation, yourself, the past, whatever the heck it is, or even the future, okay, that kind of stuff. I wonder if your opportunity is to kind of like incorporate that so that it's like your new normal, or it's something that you now kind of rely on all the time, that kind of stuff, okay? I almost understand this with the World card here, this Hierophant, all right? Could be. For some of you guys, maybe you have an opportunity with a Taurus person. I just did the Taurus reading, and I'll tell you something. It was friggin' wild, man. It was, I don't even know. I don't even know what I said in it, but, it was kind of out there. So maybe that, I mean, with this like Hanged Man energy, maybe that's something that is like, I don't know, maybe there's something in there. So, okay. For some of you guys, maybe you have an opportunity with a spouse, okay, that kind of stuff. Or maybe this is really like, I don't know, maybe this is like this is my new like religion. And sure, maybe this is like an official religion, but you know, maybe it's just something that you like, you do all the time, or it's like your way of life, or I don't know, something. So, all right, let's see. Let's get some oracle cards out, and then we will clarify your reading. All right, so this is interesting. You have this happiness card showing up for your challenge. So we're going to get into that. Okay. And then you also have, go after your goals, persist, encourage, and advance. I really like that. This is showing up for your opportunity. So it's friggin' awesome. All right. Maybe some of you guys are having a, issue, or there's a challenge in some sort of with a Leo. Okay. That maybe something about that, or was seeing something at the end. Okay. Staying present for something to the end. I don't know why that was so, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so let's clarify your reading and see what else. 5 of Pentacles at the bottom. Yeah, maybe you feel like you missed something. All right, so let's see what's up here, Virgo. I wonder if there's a situation where everyone around you, and this is, I don't know, where everyone around you, or maybe most people around you, are feeling kind of like down and out in some sense, okay, or feeling like not up to par in some sense. And I wonder if you are the one who's like, you're like, I have my head on straight. Like I don't have my head in the clouds, that kind of stuff. Okay. That might be it. And because of that, I wonder if the challenge is like, yeah, well, since you're the one who's like got like your A game on, maybe you're the one who has to kind of like bring something home, or you have to, like man the ship here, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see what's up. RH or HR might have something to do with something. I don't know. I get that as like human resources or a rental house. I also get that in a medical aspect. Okay, so I'm not a doctor, but I think about medical stuff way too much. Or I don't think it's too much. I like it, but I don't know. I love science. What can I say? Which is pretty interesting. It's not that interesting, but all right. So let's see. Queen of Cups just came out here. Okay, so let's see. Oh yes, because like science and like the world of spirituality sometimes can be at odds, but if you ask me, I think it's like right in line, okay? Ask Einstein, he'll tell you all about it. All right, so let's see. I think I'm speaking about more than spirituality. I think I'm going off in the clouds here. Okay, Virgo. You just got the Hanged Man upright with your reverse Hanged Man. So I think that's kind of awesome, to be completely honest. So, all right, let's see what the heck is going on here, Virgo. What's at the bottom? The Fool card. Amazing. I'm telling you, this is like this. You've seen something in a different light, okay? Or something, or maybe somebody's seen you in a different light, something. So let's see. All right. With the Hanged Man reversed, you have the Hanged Man upright, which is absolutely ridiculous. I love it. That's awesome. So, okay, so Virgo, perfect. So, okay, so for some of you guys, let's see. Maybe you guys are dealing with the Sagittarius, or maybe you have Sagittarius strongly in your chart, okay? That kind of stuff certainly could be. Sagittarius, Virgo, okay? This is a Virgo reading, so that would make sense. And then, of course, Pisces. Okay, so I do feel like your energy here is one of, maybe for some of you guys, it's like you've been going, and now maybe there's a time to like, okay, take a rest on this thing, or you're taking a rest here. I also see that in the terms of music, like music scores or something, like take a rest, take a pause, okay? That kind of thing. So, I will tell you, Virgo, every single earth sign reading has been wild, okay? So if this comes out like really weird, don't feel bad. All of the earth signs, well, I should be the one feeling bad, but all of the earth signs have kind of come out in a really like a really cool way, I think, anyway. So, all right. So yes, for some of you guys, maybe it's like, okay, we've been kind of like going, that kind of stuff, and now it's time to take a break, okay? That could be it. And then also, again, there could be something here where it's like you're kind of waking up to like a new perspective, or you're having like a major shift of something here, that kind of stuff, okay? Certainly could be. All right. Sometimes I get that, well, first of all, I don't think I've ever gotten double Hanged Man, one upright, one reverse, but that is giving me the energy of like stop and go. It's like speed to wait. Like, you know, when you're going to an airport and it's like, oh my God, you got to rush there just so that you're waiting forever. I actually have a tendency to get to the airports like right when the friggin' flight's going to go. It's like not funny, but it's not, I mean, I always get on the flight, but still. So, all right. Okay, so in the area of your feelings, you guys have the 10 of Pentacles, and then you have it with this reverse 9 of Pentacles here. So there's definitely some sort of like switch here. You know what I got to tell you? For some of you guys, Virgo, this could simply be like, the first half of my life was this way, and now the second half of my life is this way. And it could be that you were like, I was not expecting the second half of my life, or whatever the heck it is, okay, this part of my life to turn out this way. Maybe there was something that you had a particular like visual, or you know, an assumption of some sort, like, okay, this is how it's going to go, whatever the heck it is. Maybe it was like, you know, I thought this was going to be quite consistent, that kind of stuff. Maybe, you know, things change, life changes, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. That might be something that you're kind of like thinking about, or something that you're realizing, or, you know, something like that. Okay. That could be for some of you guys. So, okay. So I do feel like you are feeling a sense of, maybe you're feeling that everybody around you is super well established and has like happy home, happy life, happy health, like whatever the heck it is, like, you know, really good income, you know, they can get what they want, they have what they need, that kind of stuff. And maybe you're feeling like, well, I don't have that yet, or why don't I have it yet, or something about that. Okay. You maybe are even feeling, for some of you guys, I wonder if this is at all to do with like investments. Maybe there's something here that you were like, dude, I invested so much of my energy into this. I invested so much of my time into this, that kind of stuff. And you might be feeling like, how can I continue this? Or is this the right move? You know, why hasn't this given me the results that I need, or that I expected, something like that. Okay. That could certainly be it. I also understand something in the terms of feeling like I'm going to have to take care of this thing for longer than somebody else would. Okay. Maybe some of you guys are caretakers. Maybe some of you guys have children with special needs. Maybe, you know, aging parents, whatever the case is. Okay. That kind of stuff, taking care of a sibling, whatever it is. Okay. That kind of stuff. Maybe that's something you're just feeling that. Okay. And that could be that whole like, hey, I wasn't anticipating that. I wasn't expecting that. That's a bit of a surprise. Okay. That kind of stuff. All right. So in your environment, you guys have the Death card, and then you have it with the Knight of Swords here. Okay. So I wonder if this is maybe a change that happened, you know, very quickly, or this maybe is something that kind of maybe somebody, I wonder if there's even somebody who maybe is trying to kind of convince you that, hey, this is the way to change this thing, or like, you know, we need to kind of transition this thing in this way, that kind of stuff. I don't know if you're super convinced on that. It feels like you're kind of going back and forth, okay? Being like, I can kind of see that, but also that piece doesn't fit. And that doesn't quite look like that. You know what I'm trying to say? It's almost, you know what it feels like? It's almost like, it's almost like trying to label something that's just not easy to label, okay? Sometimes labels can be kind of nice because you can feel like either validated, or you can feel like, okay, now I know where my place is, or whatever the heck it is. But also sometimes that can like detract from something, or I don't know. I don't really know. I feel like I do know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know if it's coming out quite clear. So, all right. I also want to say somebody around you maybe had a really close call with something. What that is, I don't know, okay? But all right, something like that. The number 13 or 31 might be significant, or there might be something in there, okay? That kind of stuff. Some of you guys maybe are big into like gardening or planting or something like that. I know that's really random, but there might be something that you're in the energy of being like, okay, halfway through we have to like flip this or switch this, you know, something about like light cycles. I know that's friggin' random, but that might have something to do with it. You know, okay. So, all right, let's see. You guys have the Star card, and then you have it with the 10 of Wands here showing up for your challenge. And again, you have it with this Happiness card as well showing up for your challenge. So that Happiness card, that could be kind of indicating the Sun card here, okay? And that could be that kind of like that gardening thing, or that you know, feeling like, okay, I got to like shed more light on this, or whatever it is, that kind of stuff. And then for others of you, it could very well be that possibly you're having maybe a hard time finding maybe happiness in something, or there might be a situation that it's like, dude, you know, I need to, like, this is what the situation is, but it might be like that's not what I was expecting, or that's not what I was expecting to be revealed, or something about that, okay? At the same time, I want to say, I want to say tokens. So tokens might be something, okay? Tokens might be important in some sense, all right? That kind of stuff. But I was also going to say that could be like, I don't know. I actually don't. I lost my train of thought. That's okay. That's kind of funny. Tokens and then trains. So I don't know. There could be something there. So all right. Let's see. Okay, so with this 10 of Wands and the Star card, so in the past, I do feel like there's been something that maybe was like a healing process, or possibly there was maybe something here that, I almost want to say you kind of felt something happening, okay? You kind of like, I don't know if this was a huge surprise. Like you kind of knew something was going to happen, or there was this feeling of like, I kind of know this is going to happen. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I also understand something about, well, quite literally being like, dude, I have 1 foot on land, I have 1 foot on water, you know? I mean, that is what the Star card's depicting, but I'm like really kind of getting that. I'm also getting the visual of like, I forget what they're called. I want to say ecotariums, but I do not think that is correct. Okay. Those things, they're like, you know, those buckets, that's not a bucket. Those like jars you would put like a sailboat in, that kind of thing. You know how sometimes people will put, like plants and stuff in there to like make like a little like sustainable ecosystem. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but I am seeing that. Okay. So I'm wondering, maybe in the past, everything was kind of like at homeostasis. I wonder if it's like everything was kind of like working out in some sense. There's a ladybug on my curtain up there, so it's friggin' awesome. I love ladybugs so much. So maybe that is a symbol for you guys, okay? That kind of thing. One of the readings this week got an oracle card, good luck, and it had a ladybug on it. I don't know which reading it was. It's going to be either fire or Capricorn. So I don't know. Okay, so yeah, so it could be that it's like, you know, feeling like, okay, I've got my, you know, my foot in the water and foot on land, that kind of stuff. Again, you have this like hanged man up, hanged man down, that kind of energy. I understand that. It seems to be like in line here. So I do feel like maybe the challenge now is possibly like the ending of whatever this is, okay? Like making it to the home stretch of something, or being able to stay connected to something long enough to be able to see the result at the end, to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, that kind of stuff, okay? So, all right, action to take. You guys have the 8 of Cups here. So So I would say definitely finding something that is like fulfilling to you is certainly like the way to go here, that kind of stuff. I would also say certainly not putting up with anything that does not fit the right way, okay? I don't mean this, maybe I mean this literally, but I mean this in the sense of like, if there's somebody who's maybe trying to convince you of something or trying to go back on something that maybe had already changed you profoundly, I'm almost getting gaslighting kind of being put into this in some sense, okay? That kind of stuff, all right? I do understand that, all right? So I would maybe just kind of like watch out for that, and that might be what it is, okay? Like if you're feeling like that there could be a better fit for this, or there's something missing here, that this is not all the way complete, that's something to be like really taken into consideration, or to kind of like walk away from something if you're like, this isn't fulfilling me, it's not complete, whatever the heck it is, I feel like something's missing, okay? This makes me feel like homesick for the stars. There's an oracle card that says that, and that's what this is making me feel like, all right? I really relate to that, Virgo, so you're not alone. You're not alone, Virgo. So all right, you have the Page of Wands reversed, and that's what is showing up with this. So yeah, I mean, to me, this almost feels like it's like the grass might not be greener, but that doesn't mean that you should be okay with something that is less than what you are deserving of, or less than your worth, okay? That kind of stuff, all right? That's really what I'm understanding here. This also might bring in a sense of maybe like staying where you are for the moment while kind of like going through this like hanged man up, hanged man down type of energy. Like, what is my next move? Like, let me like not be super impulsive, but making sure that you're not settling for something that is like less than you deserve, or staying in a situation or whatever it is that again is feeling like this could be that I'm missing something. There's something missing, I feel like this is literal. I'm also understanding like a lineup of something, and like one thing is literally missing, something like that. So all right, you have the Ace of Pentacles, and this is showing up as what to avoid here. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of just what we said, is like not assuming like, yep, the grass is going to be greener over there, that kind of stuff, okay? This might not be the time to like look for another opportunity, okay? Something like that. Maybe I wonder if somebody is going to return to something, or somebody is late to something, that kind of thing, okay? That might be something here. So it might not, maybe it's like, hey, don't assume, that this is done and over with, or whatever the heck it is, okay? That kind of stuff. I also understand not trying to fill a void with like, when there's like this meme that I've seen a bunch, and it's like somebody's like, or like the therapist is like, what do we do when we're sad, or something like that, and then like the client's like, add to cart, and it's like, no. Okay, so there might be something like that, okay, where it's like trying to fill the void with like something like material or something from like the 3D world, when like unfortunately I've it's my understanding that kind of stuff really like occurs like inward. Like we have to kind of like find happiness like on the inside, or like through ourself, that kind of stuff, and not so much with like outward type of things, okay? Not to say that like a good old-fashioned shopping spree or splurging on something doesn't feel friggin' awesome, but it's like trying not to make that like every time I'm sad I'm gonna go buy this thing, or every time I'm sad I'm gonna go whatever it is, something, something. So all right, okay, so let's see. All right, so for your opportunity here, you guys have this go after your goals, persist, encourage, and advance, all right? And then you have it with the Hierophant, and you have it with the reverse 8 of Pentacles here. So in the past energy, I feel like I wonder if you were feeling like either maybe not satisfied at a workplace, or you were feeling like this can be done in a more efficient way. Like this could be done more efficiently, or maybe there was a situation with like a lack of focus, or a lack of the kind of working at the task at hand, that kind of stuff, okay? What I will also say is I'm getting, this is weird, dude. I'm getting a situation where this is somebody's spouse that I'm seeing, okay? That somebody's spouse was like, I'm working on this thing, but they're not. So I understand that as a lie, okay? So, definitely check all your placements, check in with your intuition before, making something that maybe is not your story, like your story. But I am understanding something about that, okay? Whether this is somebody like calling out of work, or giving up on a project, or leaving before something is done, something like that might have happened in the past, okay? That kind of stuff. All right, so, but this is showing up for your opportunity, okay? So it could be that maybe this is even like returning back to, that's what I'm saying, returning back to something, or maybe somebody else is returning back to something, you know, in some capacity to kind of like, I almost want to say fix a chain and a link, or actually I was trying to say fix a patch in a fence, but chain and a link came out. I don't know, something like that, like coming into like, patch something up, or to, I don't know, to make sure that everything is like in a solid row. I keep getting that row reference, okay, that kind of stuff. So there's definitely something about that. All right, so let's see. So, okay, so then yes, you have it with this Hierophant card, okay? So it does seem like, I think your opportunity is maybe to, again, revisit something that maybe you were like, you know what, I didn't finish this thing, I didn't complete it, maybe there wasn't enough time, or you went a different direction, or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff, okay? There might be something about that is like returning back to something, completing something, that kind of stuff. And again, it might be that the opportunity is like to maybe just incorporate that way of doing something into like, I want to say the technique you use moving forward, or the process that you're kind of using going forward. Something about that, all right? There's something about that. There's also something about like not like being like, hey, we don't have to rush through something. Like sometimes we can like take, I don't want to say the slow and steady approach, but being kind of like methodical with like the way that you're kind of going about something, or the way that you're putting a collection together, something like that, all right? Okay, for others of you, I feel like maybe there was something that you maybe were working underneath somebody, okay, or assisting, or a mentor, or whatever the heck it is, something about that. And, you know, you might have been kind of doing that type of work, or something about it, okay? And I wonder if your opportunity is to make something more regular, to make something more consistent in some sense, so that it's like, okay, now like you're being like initiated into something that's not such like a mentor or a apprentice of some sort, but maybe it's like kind of being moved up into like, I don't know, like a teaching role, or I don't know, being the one who like gets to decide like who comes and who goes, or I don't know, something like that, okay? So, all right, you have the Seven of Wands, and this is showing up as the action to take. So yeah, I mean, absolutely defending whatever it is that you put work into so far, okay? Go after your goals, persist, encourage, advance. You know, that literally is the Seven of Wands. That's the way I'm seeing it anyway, is like, you know, being persistent, being like, this is like, you know, I'm not giving up on this thing. There's also something about like, if you know that somebody is giving you information or saying something or whatever the heck it is that you're like, I just don't see that. That doesn't fit. I'm not seeing that. Don't be convinced otherwise. You know what I mean? It's like, stay with what it is that you're kind of like thinking, because it feels like you're, I want to say, on the right path here, that kind of stuff. Okay. Definitely understanding that. I even understand somebody here who is like nervous to even like be happy, or to, I don't know, this might be somebody who like every time someone's excited about something, there might be somebody who's like, that's stupid, or like, don't, like, I don't know, you're too much, or whatever it is. That can really kind of like, that can affect somebody like big time, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. So it could be. All right, so you have the Page of Swords, and that's what this Seven of Wands is going to bring in here. So yes, this to me is like, I want to say like being curious about the right things, or being like, having like, you know, something that you want to maybe like start a conversation, or start investigating into something, or there's something you're really intrigued by. Maybe this is like kind of fact finding, or I'm seeing somebody looking through, people definitely don't do this anymore. This is like ancient, okay? But like back when I was like a teenager and you would have to like find a job like the old fashioned way, you would go to the damn newspaper and open up like, I forget what confidentials are they called? I don't think so. Maybe. I feel like they are, but why is that confidential? That's got to be not what it's called. But you know, to see like who needs to find a job in like the newspaper. I don't know. So there's something about that, all right? Or I'm understanding something regarding that, okay? But definitely like maintaining your boundaries. And it's like, if something is feeling like, nope, that is worth fighting for, or that's not worth fighting for, it's like really taking that into account, okay? I'm going to go ahead and say that something here is worth fighting for, because look at your Oracle card. That guy's like, no, I mean, these are the same cards, guys. They're the same exact cards, okay? So sevens might be a number that you really like, maybe 14. I know we mentioned Sagittarius before, so, you know, certainly could be, you know, some Sagittarius energy. So, all right. I want to say two peas in a pod too. All right, I want to say that. So, okay, so you have the Lovers card, and this is showing up as what to avoid. I think this is avoiding remaking a decision that you already kind of like made in some sense. And that's what I'm saying. If there's this like feeling of like somebody who's convincing you or trying to convince you of something here to, you know, transition back to something or to accept a certain thing, okay, that kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm understanding, is like, kind of like accept this, and it's like, no, you don't have to accept everything just because like someone's telling you to, or, you know, whatever it is, okay. There might be somebody who's quite pushy around you, okay, that kind of stuff. So definitely maintaining those boundaries, that kind of stuff, okay. Maybe offering a replacement in some sense, or offering an idea, being like, okay, hey, so I'm going to say no on that, or whatever the heck it is, but like, what about this? Or, you know, something about that might be something to do. Okay. So yes, back to this Lovers card. I do think that, I think there's maybe an avoidance of making something so freaking similar, that kind of stuff. Why? I'm not sure, but I'm understanding this with this reverse Eight of Pentacles here. That's kind of where I'm getting that from. So that could certainly be something here. Okay. And again, I also think this is an avoidance of, I want to say conforming to something that you do, that you know is not for you. You know, that's really kind of what I'm feeling here. I think this whole reading is like, hey, it's great to be an individual, and not everything fits perfectly into a box. That's what I think I'm trying to say. So, all right, that's what I have for you guys, Virgo. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you can check your other placements, and I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.